Hello, and welcome to the MindCep Podcast. This is your host, Alex Muir, helping you flex your mind, body, and soul. And welcome to the solo podcast series, MindCep Matters. Hello, and welcome to the MindCep Podcast. This is your host, Alex Muir, helping you flex your mind, body, and soul. And today's new podcast solo series, MindCep Matters, where I go over ways to enhance the brain and body. And in today's episode, to start it off for episode 1, to get back at it, I want to start off by saying today's episode, coming back to creating, I want to come back and create content for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. And this episode is going to be based off of recapping 2022, reflecting on 2022, and looking into 2023. Now, I know we're almost at the end of January here, but I kept making excuses to not come up with content, and honestly, I didn't have a good excuse. I was busy, but I want to get back to making content for y'all, and I really enjoy doing the MindCep Podcast, and I had all my ideas written down for content that I want to publish, but now is the time. There's no excuse, whether it's 5 minutes or 20 minutes. I want to release a new episode each and every Monday for you guys to start the week on a good note and to begin your week with some inspiration, some motivation, some insight into ways that you can improve your brain and body. And talking about improving the brain specifically, while I was offline, in the last little while, December 19th till January 1st, I was traveling with my fiance and family in Maui, Hawaii. And while I was there, I had some time to reflect. I had some time to think, which, when life gets busy and there's a lot going on, you don't always have time to think. You feel like, everything's just, you're feeling lots of overwhelm, lots of, bombardment of, life's stressors and your responsibilities. But when, because we were doing traveling to different parts of the island while we were there, I used that time to really deepen my meditation practice. And talking about how we can improve our brain and body, but specifically our brain, the meditation, I've been experimenting with it and doing it every day pretty much since 2017. Now, there's been some weeks where I'd take off and I wouldn't be as consistent. But when I went to Hawaii in Maui, and I was working on doing 20 to 30-minute session every day. I consistently hit 30 minutes a day, sometimes 20 minutes, but consistently pretty much hit 30 minutes a day. Wow, every day that we were traveling, pretty much. I would do it in the morning, first thing in the morning, and it would just really help to detach from my thoughts during the day. Now, any of you out there that has any sort of anxiety or feelings of overwhelm, which a lot of us do have, deepening or finding ways to deepen your meditation practice and go deeper into those sessions by doing longer sessions, getting to the point where you can go from 10 minutes to 15 minutes, 15 to 20, and so on. By doing that, at first, you're going to experience some levels of discomfort, but as you continue to deepen your practice, do longer and longer sessions, you begin to observe your thoughts more and not obsess about your thoughts. So you begin to obsess about your thoughts less and detach from your thoughts more. And when I was traveling in Maui, that's what started to happen. I started to not be so inside my head. I started to become more present. And of course, when you're traveling, everything's elevated because you're so excited about being whatever destination that you're in. But I've been able to maintain that mental state ever since I came back from Maui. Now, I just wanted to make sure I shared that with y'all because having the ability to observe our thoughts more and not judge our thoughts has been one of the greatest challenges for me for forever and a bit. So I just want to start off by saying that if you find a way to start some sort of meditation practice or whatever mindfulness, I like to use the word mindfulness um, or awareness practice. It doesn't have to be meditation, but meditation is just a practice that I've adopted, within the last like 5 years or 6 years now. That just really helps to just become more centered, more present in the moment. And what I learn by also reading a book that I'm reading right now by whatchamacallit, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural. I also read that book while I was deepening my meditation practice in Maui, Hawaii. And he talks about integrating breathwork with your meditation practice, which I was still kind of doing with my meditation practice. But ever since I started doing a technique called box breathing, it's a 4-second inhale, and then you hold for 4 seconds, and then a 4-second exhale, and then you hold for 4 seconds while you're doing your meditation practice. And then, coupled with the breath work and the meditation, I also would focus on something that I want to manifest. And Dr. Joe Dispenza says in his book, later in a couple of the chapters, talks about different things that we want to manifest. He says that basically, in order to manifest something new, you have to change your internal thought process. You have to rewrite your thoughts. You basically have to, you're manifesting new energy. All that stagnant energy or those stressors or responsibilities you feel or overwhelm, thoughts of overwhelm, stress, that's got to be cleared out. So a way of clearing out that negative energy is through the breath, through our breath work. So in a way, using breath work while we meditate helps to exhale the stress, helps to excrete the stress out of our system. So while I was in Maui and then coming back home to Canada, utilizing breath work during my meditation sessions helped to detach from feelings of overwhelm, anxiety, and each day it's been getting a little bit easier and a little bit easier. And I'm at the point now where I'm doing 2 half-hour sessions a day, so an hour a day. And yesterday, for instance, I did 45-minute session. So every other day I'm doing about 45 minutes in one session. Now, I'm just saying this as an example to show you what's possible when we learn to befriend our thoughts, to observe our thoughts with kindness and non-judgment. We begin to create new energy. And when we create new energy internally, it's all about improving our inner world. And when we improve our inner world and improve our inner self-talk to more positive self-talk towards ourselves and love ourselves more, it enables us and allows us to improve, to build new energy for new things, to build a new life. So I just want to share that with y'all. This is first episode back on the MindCep Podcast. And again, this is going to be a solo episode series just with myself and you listeners, ladies and gentlemen, for episode 1 of MindCep Matters. Now, again, like I mentioned, I don't want to make any excuses. I just want to post content as soon as I feel inspired. It's going to get more structured over time, but I didn't want to have any excuse for not making content because, I know that you guys appreciate the content that I put out. And whether that be from, I'm going to continue to have guest interviews, interview guests on as well. But I also don't want to have any gaps in the content that I provide for you guys. So I'm going to continue to provide content, solo episodes. This is the MindCep Matters podcast solo series, episode 1. And again, this episode will be 10 minutes, and then I'm going to aim to have all future solo episodes for this series to be around 10 to 20 minutes. Could be more, could be less, depending on how much topics we want to cover. So hope you guys all enjoyed this episode. Again, this is MindCep Matters, my new podcast solo series. And in this episode, talking about how to start your own mindfulness meditation practice or some sort of mindfulness practice that works for you to help you detach from your thoughts, be more observant of your thoughts, and craft a new positive inner world for yourself that influences your outer world and how you show up for yourself to those around you. So thank you all for listening, and I look forward to posting next Monday's content as well for you all. All right. Take care. Thanks all for listening. And again, I'm going to post a Q&A after this episode launches, and let me know other episodes or ideas for future episodes that you'd like to see or hear or listen to. And I'm definitely open to feedback, and I look forward to posting more content for you guys in the future. All right. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for listening to the MindCep solo podcast series, MindCep Matters, bringing you weekly inspiration, motivation, and insight into brain and body optimization hacks. Thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed this episode or this podcast solo series, please don't hesitate to leave a comment, drop a like, rate, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Or if you prefer, you can listen on my blog. That's alexandermuir.com/blog. That's alexander.com/blog. Thank you all for listening, and stay tuned for next week's episode.